Well, Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year to everybody in the audience. Hope you had a happy and, of course, a healthy new year. Healthy 2024. And listen, here we are. 2024 is here. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the weight of 2024, I mean, we've been talking about it, obviously, for a while. We've been, went through the whole year. And feel like 2023, we're all kind of holding futures tickets, if we're going to empower a gambling theme here. Like we're all holding futures tickets on 2024, and now 2024 is here, and it's time to see which tickets are going to cash. And we're going to roll. I feel like the dominoes have been all set up, and now it's all the dominoes are going to fall. And here we are into 2024, and the weight of what this year is going to mean on many levels seems to have really come into focus, at least for me, the last 2 days, because obviously it's it's difficult for any American who loves the country to kind of watch its political, economic, and military leaders destroy it, which is what we saw in 2023. And here we are in 2024. U.S. debt passes $34 trillion, I noticed over the weekend, for the first time in history. The debt's up 100% since 2014. Since the debt ceiling crisis in 2023, back in June, which seems like a lifetime ago, the debt's up nearly $3 trillion just since then. So, you think about everything that's going on and everything that's on the line and everything that's coming in this year, and the Biden administration, and the lawfare and the everything we've seen from the Department of Injustice and the FBI is going to continue. It's going to get ramped up. The border invasion is just getting ramped up by the day. The crime's getting worse. The green energy destruction and quality of our life continues. Inflation, debt, as we just talked about, debt, $34 trillion. The spending never ending. The funding of Hamas and the Biden administration, what's going on in Israel. How does that spill over? The crime wave that's growing in all of these blue cities. We have so many issues that we are confronted with, and I think we've got to lay down some serious markers going into 2024. And I think the first one we have to lay down is that this year is not about November 5th. It's about right now. It's about right now. We can't. Yes, we're going to wait till November 5th or whatever the date is there to vote in 11 months. But, the time is now. The time is now specifically for Republicans as well. If we're going to deal with the border, are we going to have some clear messaging that we've talked about on this show for seemingly years? Republicans hold Congress, although their margin gets slimmer and slimmer by the day, seemingly. Bill Johnson, I believe his name is, now puts in his letter of resignation today on the January 21st, which brings, I think, their margin down to one or two, I believe it is. We've got budget deadlines this month. I believe the 19th of January, February 2nd. And are the Republicans going to start 2024 with a set of you-know-whats and finally say, we need to have a shutdown fight over the budget on January 19th and over the border? No funding, zero funding for this government until we deal with what is going on at the border. Are they ready to have that fight to start the year? Is the conservative movement ready to have this fight? Is every person who has a microphone in front of them on any part of any day ready to talk about these things? Those are some of the questions we have as we go into this year, a year that will be in somewhat the craziest year, most important year. However you want to describe it. Delgado, what are your thoughts as we go into the new year?
Well, I was really feeling kind of positive until you started talking.
As usual.
I was like kind of looking like, because to me, I looked at 2023. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad 2023 is over. I feel like there's just there was so much negative crap. Hopefully now we can turn the corner and start looking forward to, good stuff happening. And then you kind of reminded me that, hey, that party ain't going to start just yet. And unfortunately, you're right. There are too many issues out there that we have to deal with. in terms of, I don't know if it's the messaging from the GOP that I'm really concerned about. I'm more concerned with action. What is actually going to what are you actually going to be able to get done? Because, a lot of times we sit there and we root these people on, but then they let us down. They don't. They all of a sudden they strike out. With the bases loaded. It's like, what are you striking out with the bases loaded for? You're a great hitter, or the buzzer's coming down, final second shot, and you clank it, you brick it. Or even worse, I'll make a reference to this weekend. All you got to do is hit an open Saquon Barkley with a little shovel pass, and you win the game. None of that happened. It's like Charlie Brown's football just keeps getting ripped out from under us every time we're expecting, okay, this is what we've been waiting for, that next step, and then whoop, I don't think so. It's infuriating, but I'm not expecting much from Republicans. I'm expecting more from conservatives.
Damon,
if that makes sense.
But messaging and action are really going to, I hear exactly what you're saying. Messaging and action are going to be really tied together, especially when we talk about January 19th. I don't think you can overstate how important the January 19th budget fight is going to be. Do the conservatives and the Republicans have clear messaging on what they are going to stand behind? What are they going to put up? They are going to say, listen, the Senate and the White House needs us to basically let government continue to function. We are not willing to let that happen unless we are defunding, catch and release, and we are empowering states to not only turn people back, but deport people that are here. If Republicans are not ready to get on that wagon as we start 2024 and have that fight, there is no action to be had.
Yeah. And I think it's because we, the elected lacks a true leader. I mean, a true leader who will just, say, this is it. This is what we're going to do. Get in line. They don't have that. You talk about Pelosi. Yeah, she's a disgusting, mess. But that was one thing she could do, was keep everybody in line. I don't know. Maybe this guy deciding to, he's going to leave the House at the end of January. Maybe his name was attached to a certain list. I don't know. Maybe he sees something coming down the pike that he's going to get in trouble for. I don't know. But when it comes right down to it, we got to hold these people to account, and it's got to be by what they actually can get done. So yeah, like you said, with the budget fight, I mean, yeah, be willing to make the hard call. I think that's the problem with most politicians, is they don't want their ass on the line for anything. Oh, I didn't do that. I was trying to get this done for you. Shaking hands and shaking babies, whatever they do. They don't want to be called on the carpet for what they actually stood for. It's like they can go back to their constituents and say, look, this is what I said I was running on. Here's what I did. This is what you guys voted me in for. I feel like even if they have that in their back pocket, they won't do it because they're afraid.